Deluxe. So I caved. I had to get this clone trooper from the Clone Wars. I had to. Star Wars figures here is stupid hard to get, and if you do get it, it's at a stupid price. So luckily I was able to find this seller selling this particular figure at a very okay price. He's slightly above retail, but that's alright. If it's slightly above retail, I don't mind it. So yeah, reason I got this, guys, because of that ending from Clone Wars. If you guys haven't seen it, it's pretty damn brutal. This whole battalion basically just died in that one episode. So yeah, it's a pretty significant battalion, this 501st Battalion. And that ending, yeah, that was something. If you guys haven't seen it, I suggest you do. But you know, if you want to watch the whole Clone Wars, then that's a whole ordeal in itself. I don't really like the Clone Wars series, truthfully. When it started, it was so kiddie, because the kid Ahsoka thing, and I don't know, that I didn't like that. I didn't like the kiddie aspect of Star Wars because it was so overdone. But as the series progressed, it got real mature real fast, and the last season was the most mature and the most brutal. So yeah, this is him. I finally got him. So with that being said, let's take a look at this orange boy. And here he is, the clone trooper himself. I have to say, I don't really collect clone troopers, I don't collect stormtroopers, but when I do, I make sure it's the right one for me, and this is the right one for me. Although he's pretty bland in color, he's just white, blue, and orange. The weathering is done very nicely here. The only gripe I do have on the weathering is they didn't continue it into the black suit that is underneath the armor. I wish they put some form of dust or mud or whatever, because that would really make this figure, how do you say, very nice. As you can see here, it's nicely done. It's you know, it's your standard stormtrooper. You can't really go wrong with it. So yeah, with that being said, let's take a closer look at this guy. So here's a closer look at the clone trooper from the 501st Battalion. And yeah, like I said before, if they just put some weathering on the black parts under the armor, I think it would look cool. Better actually, because the armor itself is weathered very nicely. Even the paint scratches and all that is done very nicely. Even the orange part, because the orange helmet is something they did themselves, the clones, to paint. But for some reason, it has weathering already. I don't think these orange helmets were in action at all. I think, if I remember correct, let me think. Because in the series, they welcomed Ahsoka back, right? And after that, they were going on a mission or something, and then Order 66 happened. So these things weren't in use. So I don't really understand how the weathering happened on the orange helmets. But you know what? I appreciate the effort nonetheless. Then we got his back here. His back is magnetized. You could put his rocket booster, rocket pack on there. You have his lunchbox over there. Got his ammo pouches, whatever. I don't really know what these are. Are they ammo pouches? Because they don't really show the clone troopers use it. I think I've seen it once, like they put thermal detonators in them or something. But are these actual pouches or just shield generator things? I don't know. I'm really lacking in Star Wars lore. So yeah, this is him. And he comes with a bunch of accessories, which I am going to show you right now. Backpack, rocket pack, rifle, missile launcher, blaster, minigun, grenade, flame effect, another flame effect, phase 1 helmet, phase 2 helmet, hand. And here's the stuff the clone trooper comes with, and this took a while for me to set up. So with that being said, let's take a look at his big old honking missile launcher. This is something new for me. I never seen a clone trooper with a missile launcher before. Let's see, yeah, look at that. It's very nice weathering. I don't think you need to do a lot, but I wish they put like some blast effects on the end here, like to show it's been used. Got some green lens thingy there. Very nicely done, really. But they don't give ammunition for this. They don't have like the rockets for this piece. So you can't really pose him loading any rockets into this rocket launcher, which is a shame. Would have been a nice accessory to have, you know? Especially if you had two of these clone troopers helping one another load the rocket. So yeah, this is the rocket launcher. It's very nicely weathered. Yep. Hooray, rocket launcher. So next we have the rifle, the long rifle. Ooh. This is the long rifle. This is the same, I think this is the same as the Cody, the Captain Cody rifle. I think in terms of sculpt, but in terms of paint, I think there's some differences between. What is wrong with you? There we go. There's some differences with the paint, I think. I don't know. Got some lettering. Is that lettering? Is that Star Wars letters? I don't know. You got this weird gasket thing here. I don't really know how this particular... Is this a... No, yeah, it's upside down, so it can't be a scope, but, you know. I don't pose them with this because it's way too long and it takes way too much shelf space. But it is a very nice addition, a very nice accessory to have. I'm gonna have this mounted on his back. I'll show you guys how to do that in a bit. Because I really do not like leaving these accessories in the box. Because I want to show as much as I want, as much as possible, really. Next is the minigun, the big old minigun. Look at this thing. Now this I think there's some lacking in weathering. It's lacking in weathering, really. This thing. It looks more like a big honking plastic that's not painted yet. I think they could have done a bit more with the weathering, especially this part. It seems like this part's a bit empty to me. And this... a bit more weathering would have helped a lot. But yeah, this is the Gatling gun. I don't really know where the ammo sits. Is the ammo here? Like a cartridge battery thing? Who knows? That's always confused me about how Star Wars ammo works, you know? Like you never seen anybody reloading. Yep. So next we take a look at his, you know, this is the common blaster. All troopers have, stormtrooper, clone trooper. This is the Imperial standard, I think. But something weird about this gun is it doesn't fold out all the way. Because it's too thin at the end here. So I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why this is a thing. Because this is a shoulder guard, right? This thing? It's supposed to help aim, but I don't really know why it's not folding out. So is that a flaw? Or is that Hot Toys being lazy again? Let me know. But yeah. So there is a cartridge here, I think. Is that a cartridge? I mean, in The Mandalorian, you see him reload that long rifle, but it's like a one-shot rifle. But you never seen anybody reload these things, so I'm interested to know. So yeah, that's the gun thing. So let's take a look at his little, well, not little, it's a pretty honking backpack. And you got the Imperial. Oh god, what was it called? It's not the Imperial symbol at the time. Republic? This is the Republic symbol, I think. So it is magnetized a bit. It's enough. It doesn't have to be strong at all. And you can keep his hands in here. I did try it and it does fit. So this is it. It is pleather, unfortunately. This part is like the pleather plastic material, so I'm not going to use this at all, knowing that. I'm mostly going to stick with that rocket pack. But yeah, it's pretty nice. It's nicely weathered, truthfully. It's nicely weathered. You could see where it's all scratched up, dinged up. Although it should be more weathered at the bottom, as these troopers do lay them down or honk. like drop them down on the floor, so it should be more weathered on the bottom here. But overall, it's nice. Nothing to complain about, really. I could do without it, sure, but I'm glad it's here. Yeah. And next we have the common flamey things for the jump packs, the jump rocket booster things. I think these are the same as the Mandalorian or any other Star Wars figure that has a jetpack in it. It's the same flame effects, really. Kind of looks like candy. Yeah, so you get 2 of those and you plug them into that and you're good to go. Moving up, we have the jetpack. And yeah, I almost broke these 2 because I thought you could articulate them, but no, you can't do that. I honestly thought you could, and I was really doing that. I was like, wait, that's not right. So I stopped. This is magnetized and it does have a little padding here so it doesn't scratch the paint. And you can remove this as a separate rocket thing. I didn't know they had rockets in these things. I thought this was just a jetpack, but it's a rocket. And you can stick those flame effects in here. Whether or not you could pose them it launched is another question. If you had, I guess, wires, you could probably do that, but I'm not. But this thing is weathered very nicely, truthfully. I like the weathering on this thing. It's sick, but that's what I hate about Hot Toys. They weather it very nice, and then they miss the mark on some parts because they have no blast effects on these things. Like that blue, that they did it before. I forgot which one. I think it was the Heavy Mando that had the blue burn thing. What happens to metal if it's like burnt too much? It becomes blue. Yeah, it's like they do very nicely weather here, but they missed the mark here. It's like it really chaps my ass when that happens. Like, you're doing such a good work, but then you get lazy 90% of the way. So that kind of bummed me out. Oh well. Yep. So let's take a look at the Phase 1 helmet thing. I don't know why they included this. I'm not going to use this at all. I don't really like the Phase 1 look. It looks too angular to me. It looks too... I don't know. It doesn't look Star Wars to me. Coming from a guy who doesn't know anything about Star Wars. There's something about the Phase 1 look I didn't like, you know. It reminded me too much of the prequels, and I didn't really like the prequels. But yeah, I'm glad it's here, but I could do without it. I could do it with a clone head sculpt. How come this one didn't come with a clone head sculpt? They're basically the same face, right? So why couldn't you just give us a clone head sculpt instead of this? Was the 501st Phase 1? I don't know. It comes with the Phase 1. It's nicely weathered, if you could tell. It's very nicely done. Weathering, paint apps, all done nicely. Got a porthole there, so it's good to go. Yeah, that's the Phase 1 helmet, really. Very nice. And then we have the Phase 2 helmet, which is a classic Clone Trooper helmet, which I like the most. I don't know why I like this one the most. I really don't like the Stormtrooper helmets either. I like the Clone Wars helmet. I don't know why. So this is it. Nicely weathered. Yeah. I'm just gonna take a moment to just stare at this thing because I like it. You know what? Let's take a look at the orange one, the Ahsoka one. Let's wait. Okay, well that almost broke the figure. Pro tip, don't just yank this out of the figure because it might crack or make some weird noises, but mine came out okay. So this is the Ahsoka tribute helmet, I think. It's when Ahsoka came back from her self-imposed exile or something and rejoined the Republic. And this is like her team giving her, what do you call, support? Or like a welcome back kind of thing. And you know, it was nice, it was tastefully done in the episode. It wasn't like your typical crybaby Disney shit. It was nicely done, you know. So yeah, It was nice. As you can see, it's weathered for some reason. Although this particular helmet was not seen in battle. But yeah. Very nice. Let's see. Is it the same weathering effect? No. Why would it be? So yeah, it's the same helmet, different paint apps really. So next we have the two thermal detonators. I think they're thermal detonators or just simple grenades. You have half here. I think this is the ones they stick on the wall to blow up, what you call it, doors and whatnot, or they stick onto the droids or the tanks. And then you have the standard round one. So there's a standard round one. I think it's the same, right? Same sculpt, but it's just half? Yeah, it's the same sculpt, but it's just half, really. Yeah. So you get two of those. Can't wait for me to lose those in the future. Okay. And lastly, you have his handsets. So let's take a look at his hands. So you have his go there kind of finger pose thing, and then you have his enemy over there kind of finger pose thing. I think this is like a go 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 kind of thing, and this is like the enemies over there kind of pose, so you get two of those. It's very rubbery, these fingers, very malleable. Very malleable. So yeah, these are the two finger pose and the go 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 hand pose. Then you have the two holding hand things. I think this is for the thermal detonators or for him to hold the rocket launchers. They're basically mirrors of each other. So yeah. Oh god, what is wrong with my camera today? I think I set up too high, so it freaks out. Again, these fingers are little flexible, so you can have them grip things nicely. And then you have two trigger fingers, two trigger hands, of course, if you want to double wield these things. Oh my god. I'm not gonna edit that out. Maybe I'll edit it out, who knows. But you got two trigger fingers here. Very nicely done. And finally you have the everything's okay hand gesture and wait, everything's not okay hand gesture. So yeah, a lot of handsets here, a lot of hand display options. So yeah, with that being said, let's take all this junk onto the clone trooper. So here's the clone trooper all kitted up and ready for war. I have him in a very stoic pose, a very museum pose, holding the thermal detonator in one hand and a Gatling gun in the other. I chose the Gatling gun because it's a pretty unique accessory to have. I don't think there's another figure that has a Gatling gun in their accessory set. Got him with the jetpack fired up and ready for, well, for launch really. The backpack does stick very well onto his back. I want to see how this backpack differs from the jump trooper I have from Battlefront. Maybe I'll do a comparison later. But damn, this thing looks sick. This thing makes me want an army build, and I hate army building, especially when it's Hot Toys, because I ain't got the funds for that. But I think if I ever come across another 501st clone trooper at a reasonable price, I will get him. So at least I'll have two. But for now, with the prices they're going for, I'm glad I just have one. So with that being said, I'm kind of thinking of adding more onto him, at least one more. What I mean is I want to put one more weapon on him. And the way I do that is I have this wire thing. Now these wire things you get from NECA figures or any figures really. These are the wires that strap them into the packaging. I basically save these because I use them to strap weapons onto figures. I have a I have a drawer full of these for some reason. So I'm planning to maybe tie up the rifle or the rocket launcher onto him. So let's see, because he looks like a heavy weapons guy with a Gatling gun. So maybe I'll stick the rocket launcher onto his left side. So let's see how that looks. So here's the clone trooper with my own DIY add-on. As you can see here, I added the rocket launcher onto his back, and it does look a bit seamless, I have to say so myself. But if you look at the back here, it looks kind of horrible. I wonder if you can pick that up. Yeah, it's not a very good job, but you're not gonna see the back anyways, so that's how it looks like, really. That's how I usually attach extra accessories onto figures. I use a wire. Now this wire is safe. It's safe for the long run. It won't stain, it won't rust, it won't damage the figure because it is covered in a plastic thing, so it won't scratch anything. But it's not tight at all. It's tight enough to hold the rocket launcher. So yeah, this is how it looks like. Is this a good what do you call it, add-on? I think it's okay. You know what? I'm gonna stick the rifle now on him and see what he looks like. So here's the clone trooper all kitted up with all his weapons, and it doesn't look good. It looks too Rambo-esque, too commando looking, and yeah, it doesn't look practical either. I had to remove his jump pack to accommodate 2 weapons, and yeah, it doesn't look very nice. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the rocket launcher and yeah, be done with it, because I think the Commander Cody I have already has the rifle strapped onto him, so I don't really need 2 troopers having the same weapons. So yeah, let's compare him with the jump trooper from Battlefront for some reason. So here's the clone trooper next to the jump trooper from Battlefront. I think I'm comparing them because last time I thought the jetpacks on the clone trooper were the same as the ones on the Battlefront one. And I could safely say I was wrong. So if you could see here, if I could rotate it without dropping any figures. Okay. Let's see if I get it. And there we go. Okay. Stay. So as you can see, the jump packs are different, but the jump trooper from Battlefront does have the weathering effect of the thrusters being used. You see the purple. Can you see that on? Oh yeah, I think you can see that. The purple bluish thing, the hue, it doesn't have it on the clone trooper, which is such a miss. So I don't know what happened with Hot Toys. I mean, back in the day when this guy came out, this guy is perfect for me. There's no gripes for me on this guy. But this is always like little things like they throw away, or they don't think it's worth weathering or whatever. Cause yeah, I think it's a miss. They should have put like this hue onto this particular jetpack, but whatever, I still bought them anyways. So here they are. Let's do one more rotation and see if I can get them in frame and not have anybody commit suicide. Come on guys, you can do it. Okay. So yeah, let's get a close-up of the clone trooper and see how I managed to stick the rocket launcher onto his back. So before I do a close-up of this clone trooper, I want to see how he looks like with the Commander Cody head sculpt, and I have to say this thing looks 100 times better with the head sculpt. And it really boggles my mind why they didn't add a head sculpt with this piece. Because it's like a no-brainer. You should have at least added a head sculpt with this guy. I mean, you have the scans of this guy's face. You just have to recreate it. You just have to maybe subtract the scars and all that, and just make him to a generic clone trooper head sculpt. So yeah, this head sculpt from Commander Cody fits this body very well. I think they're the same body type, so that's why it looks seamless. And look at that, man. Why didn't they add a head sculpt? Another miss for Hot Toys. So this is how he looks like. Very nice. But I stick this head sculpt onto my Boba Fett, so yeah, unfortunately I have to use this helmet on this figure. So with that being said, let's take a close-up of this guy. So here's a close-up of the Clone Trooper. Just want to show you all the weathering, all the detail, all the sculpt work. I mean, I do not collect Stormtroopers or Clone Troopers. Very rare for me to collect them, but when I do, I have to make sure it meets all the criterias in my collection. It's not because I'm a stickler for, like, you know, I'm not like a purist and all that. Because there are just so many of these Clone Troopers or Stormtroopers that I don't want to, how do you say, dilute my collection. So I have to get those that I really like. And this one I do really like. Although I have some gripes over some missed opportunities with paint apps, this guy does the trick. He is very, very, very nice. Nothing really bad to say, except for those thrusters. You can see some of the bad wire work I have to clean up a bit later. So this is how I did it. It's a very piss poor job, but it does the trick. If you guys want to do it, you probably could do it better than I did. Again, please don't use metal wire, because metal wire, you never know, it could rust, it could oxidize, it could scratch, it could scuff. So try and use the wires you get from those NECA figures or whatever figures that come with those wires that ties them to the packaging. And you know, from certain angles it looks cool, like this. It looks cool like that. And you can hide the wire under his belt. You could see it a bit there, but you can hide it a bit more. So yeah, this is him. This is a Clone Trooper. Again, having this guy makes me want to have another one. And I really hate having duplicates. But I don't know, I have mixed feelings about getting a second one. I really want a second one for some stupid reason, but I have to restrain myself just a bit, because either buy another one of this guy or get another new figure. So I would probably opt for another new figure, really, than spend the money for the same one. But you never know, if I do come across a Clone Trooper for the right price, I might get him. So with that being said, let's stick this handsome boy on the shelf with his brothers. Meow. So this is where I'll stick the Clone Trooper from the 501st on this top shelf with the other troopers, stormtroopers, and Commander Cody over here. Yep, very nice figure. I'm glad I got it. I'm honestly contemplating of getting a second one, but yeah, no, I don't think I will, because I got other stuff to buy, other stuff to waste money on, and having duplicates of this guy is not on my list. Again, if I do find him at a decent price, I probably will, because I'm a slut like that. So yeah, this is my little humble review of the 501st Clone Trooper. With that being said, thanks for watching, and oh, his head's missing. Go get him!